What's going on, guys? It's Joshua Mack here with Mac12 TV on YouTube, part of the Mac12.com network, and I'm here with another video. And today, May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to really get into some of the things that I've struggled with as far as mental health. Now, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. A lot of my videos that I will be coming out with deal with my mental health, the things that I've learned, the processes I've gone through, as well as tips for how to handle some things. And just really, this is my progress as far as where I've been and what I'm doing. And I wanted to do a two-part video series on, first of all, what I have been diagnosed with as far as my mental health, and some of the things I've done to help myself with those things. So I can't get into some of the stories as to why or what led me to certain things due to legal issues. These legal issues having to do with the divorce that I'm going through. So in the words of Brene Brown, vulnerability is equal to courage, or they go hand in hand together. So I'm being a bit vulnerable on this channel, and I know some people will possibly make fun of me for my vulnerabilities on this channel and the things that I've gone through, but in all essence, I don't really care. That's not the people that I'm trying to attract into my life. That's not the type of people that I'm trying to please with these videos. And I'm not really trying to please anybody, as we'll get to in later videos, but I wanted to touch base and, as I said, do a two-part series on my mental health, what I've been diagnosed with, and what I've done to try and help those. Now, both of them are equal, but I'm going to touch on my anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder is what I was diagnosed with in January of 2020. Full disclosure, something that a lot of people don't know is I was very close in July of 2019 to committing suicide. One person in particular helped me through this time. There were only two people on this earth that knew that this was going to happen for quite some time. And being completely open and honest, I was glad I had this person to rely on at that point. It's somebody that I had become friends with. We kind of weren't really, our friendship had hit a stagnant note where we weren't really doing anything. I was checking up on them every once in a while. But on the night I really needed them the most, they were there for me. And I always let them know that I love them and appreciate them for that. So if they ever get around to watching this, yet again, I do love you and I do appreciate you for everything that you've done for me, including that night. The generalized anxiety comes into play with that moment because I was worried about a lot of things. I was worried about my relationship with my wife. I was worried about my relationship with my daughter. I was worried that I was not enough. I was worried that I had done something wrong. I was worried about a bunch of things, and this is where my generalized anxiety disorder came from. I worried a lot about work, whether or not I was good enough for work, just money, everything. I worried nonstop to the point that I had either anxiety attacks or panic attacks on a fairly regular basis. And I had been diagnosed with depression some years ago due to a relationship that ended, and the way I was feeling then, I wasn't really suicidal, but I was cutting myself, I was injuring myself. It's also part of the reason why I wound up with so many tattoos, because my tattoo artist had found that I had been cutting myself and told me if I wanted to cut myself, he would do it at a reduced price, and actually make it last. So kind of took him up on that offer a few times, and it's kind of why I wound up with so many tattoos right now. But the generalized anxiety disorder really fed into what was going on in my life at the time. And I'm not saying that I'm not anxious now. I don't have as many panic attacks as I once did. Those have dissipated. I do have coping mechanisms that I use when I can feel a panic attack or an anxiety attack or whatever it might be coming on. And I'll get to those shortly. But a lot of the anxiety that I've had has been reduced through this divorce. Like I said, I can't go into details, but the divorce has helped some of that a bit. And I do still have my anxieties about the divorce because it is still ongoing and there are still things that have to be done as far as the divorce. But as far as anxiety, I don't have that massive amount of anxiety that I had before when I was dealing with everything all at once. Now, some coping mechanisms that I found to deal with my anxiety. One of the things that I found helps with anxiety immensely is keeping yourself busy. Now, this can look like different things. It can look like hobbies. It can look like working extra hours. It can look like watching a TV show. A lot of people with anxiety will watch the same TV show just because it's comforting. It's a coping mechanism. It's not something that I would suggest as a healthy coping mechanism. But if that's what gets you through at the time and it's something that you need, then definitely do that. I will play a video game. I will, watch TV. I've really broadened out in what I've been watching a bit. But some of my coping mechanisms that I've used is building things. I recently deconstructed or took apart my scooter, my motor scooter, and I'm currently in the process of rebuilding it. It's taking a while, and maybe I'll have a video of when I fire it up and it actually works. I can post a video of that at some point. But I do that. I'll play video games. Like I said, I'll watch TV. One of the things that's helped with my anxiety as well is changing my mindset. I found that when you worry too much about stuff, sometimes it can put you in a mindset that you're not, if you can't get out of that mindset, you're just going to keep in that cycle of anxiety. And it's part of being mindful of when you're becoming anxious, when you're becoming overly anxious, when the anxiety is going up. You need to be mindful of what's going on at that time. And if you're mindful of what's going on at that time and you're able to remove yourself from that situation, maybe put yourself mentally in a position where you're not anxious, that can help. Another thing is questioning yourself, questioning your anxiety. And this is something that's hard to do, especially in the moment, especially when you're feeling extra anxious. But questioning your anxiety, it's something that I've found that helps me, asking myself, is this worth being anxious over? If it's something about, my mind has gone to a place of trying to plan out something that's going to happen. Instead of asking gloom and doom scenario, why not ask what if this actually works out? Trying to flip the script on looking at the bad to looking at the good that could happen from this. The other thing that I do when I've felt that anxiety come on is removing myself from wherever I am. If I'm in a very busy situation, finding a semi-quiet place for the time being, I close my eyes and take deep breaths to the count of 10. And I try to focus on, first of all, what I can hear, what I can feel, what I can smell, and then slowly opening my eyes and regrounding myself to what is around me. That puts you really in the place of being present and there and not having to worry about getting yourself out of that routine of playing and replaying things in your head. That may or may not happen. We don't know what could happen. I understand that there's this need, this want, this desire to try and plan out things that may happen, but really we have to, in the time that it's causing us anxiety, we have to let go of that. We absolutely have to let go of that and let whatever happen. It's not worth the anxious, anxiety-ridden feelings that you have that get you down, that can make you sick to your stomach, that can make you in physical pain. You have to learn to let that go. And a couple things to help with that, obviously, especially with like mental health, maybe see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. There are podcasts out there for mental health that you can listen to that can help you change your mindset. One that I would suggest, that I've suggested on numerous videos, but I can't remember if I posted them because I'm just getting into the habit of feeling more and more comfortable in front of the camera. But New Mindset Who Dis by Case Kenny. I started from the beginning. I'm on episode 85. It's a great resource to help you change your mindset on things, to readjust your mindset, to really get into practice what you want to feel and how you need to think about things. And that's something that really has helped me, is listening to that podcast. But those are just a couple things, maybe read some books and stuff like that. But I wanted to open up to you guys and let you know some of the things that I've dealt with as far as my mental health. As this is Mental Health Awareness Month, I feel that this is the ample time, or the perfect time, for me to ramp up starting to make videos here on the channel. So my next video, which I will either shoot tomorrow or Friday or next week sometime, who knows, is my other mental health quote-unquote disorder that I was diagnosed with, and that was major depressive disorder. So I will get to that in my next video. And one more thing before I forget, if you guys need to find a psychologist or a psychiatrist, psychologytoday.com is a great place. You put in your city, you can put in whether you want to meet with a male or female, age bracket, who you want to see. You can break it down by really finding precisely what you need in a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Psychologytoday.com, not a sponsored video. That's how I found my psychologists, and it's something that's really helped me. The other thing, if you are feeling suicidal, reach out to a close friend. If you don't have a close friend that you feel you can reach out to, dial the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That is 1-800-273-8255. They also have a text line as well. You can, I believe you can text, if you text HOME to 741-741, it is free 24/7 crisis counseling. If you don't feel like using the 800 number of 800-273-8255, you can, as I said, text HOME to 741-741. So you have options. You can make a phone call, talk to somebody live at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, or you can text somebody as well. Again, psychologytoday.com. Help you find a psychologist or a psychiatrist in your area. 1-800-273-8255 or HOME to 741-741 if you guys are feeling suicidal. And if it gets really bad, go to the emergency room as soon as you can. Guys, like this video and want to know more, give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends. You can follow me on social media. Some of that's changing. I do have an Instagram under mac12.com. That is all spelled out, mac12.com. Although it might just change to mac12ig. I don't know. I will see. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys very, very soon.